In 1945, at the end of World War II, America's federal debt to gross domestic product ratio was 120%. Washington responded with leadership. In 1946, the federal budget was slashed a massive 40%. In 1947, the federal budget was slashed by another 38%. The result, America rose to the challenge and America prospered. By 1980, even though per capita inflation-adjusted federal spending had tripled, federal debt had shrunk to 30% of GDP. Since 1980, America's per capita federal spending has exploded to 5 times more than 1948 levels. The result? America faces a skyrocketing $17 trillion debt burden. America's Comptroller General warns that America's financial path is unsustainable. Instead of confronting our debt dependence, Washington kicks the can down the road and immorally sells our children into the equivalent of indentured servitude and poverty while driving America's federal debt to dangerous levels. To preserve the liberty and prosperity our ancestors sacrificed to give us, we must free Americans to again earn their prosperity and significantly cut federal non-defense spending to restore financial responsibility and provide the stable monetary environment needed for economic growth. If the federal government will be financially responsible and stop killing job creation, America's economy will soar because we have within our grasp a massive new technology and energy boom. Mark Mills, adjunct fellow, Manhattan Institute, states, quote, "By 2020 or so, the United States is expected to surpass Saudi Arabia in oil output and Russia in gas, according to the International Energy Association's best estimate. Daniel Yergin, one of the world's leading energy experts, estimates that the United States turnaround in energy has generated 1.7 million new jobs, and that number should almost double by 2020, end quote. The RAND Corporation adds, quote, "The pace of technological change, whether through advances in information technology, biotechnology, or such emerging fields as nanotechnology, will almost certainly accelerate in the next 10 to 15 years, with synergies across technologies and disciplines generating advances in research and development, production processes, and the nature of products and services," end quote. Amazing economic possibilities abound if the federal government will simply allow Americans to seize them. Unfortunately, too many paternalistic Washington politicians distrust the American people to earn a better life for themselves or to take care of each other without government coercion or intervention. Financially irresponsible Washington politicians insist on spending money we do not have, risking a debilitating American insolvency and bankruptcy, debasing our currency, punishing success, rewarding destructive behavior, and strangling job creation and bureaucratic red tape. The federal government, by attempting to supply and command all things, saps America's spirit of energy and devours the financial capital needed for innovation, productivity growth, and jobs. America must stop kicking the can down the road to a day when the debt challenge is even more daunting. The time to act now, while America has sufficient economic strength to succeed. We cannot wait until America is bankrupt and defenseless, our currency is valueless, and we are overwhelmed by closed businesses, lost jobs, and poverty. Congress must use the debt limit, the budget, appropriation bills, and every other means available to free America from the growing burden of crushing debt and a dictatorial federal bureaucracy. America ended Democrat President Jimmy Carter's economic malaise with one election in 1980, giving us the wildly successful economic policies of Republican President Ronald Reagan and 25 years of unparalleled prosperity. America's choice is between economic depression brought about by socialist, heavy-handed, bureaucratic, big brother economic policies and prosperity brought about by policies centered on free enterprise, individual liberty, and faith in the American people. The same economic policies and freedoms that made America the greatest nation in world history. America, please choose wisely. Your future and America's depends on it. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.